Okay, you guys see this photo here. And excuse my voice because it's a little hoarse. No pun intended, but my voice is a little hoarse. Get it? Hoarse? Anyway, I saw this picture trending on Twitter and on Facebook, and a lot of black people are upset. And I'm sure, a lot of white people that's pretending to be upset. Okay, because like I mentioned in the prior video, that you have white racists that's pretending to be against white supremacy to take the focus and attention off of you, to kind of clear their conscience. But this is an image that's circulating around Twitter and Facebook, and a lot of black people seem to be upset. Now, I'm not really going to speak on what's actually happening in the photo, because it's a no-brainer. And of course, I already know that the police department is going to apologize. People are going to call for these officers to be suspended or fired, and it's more than likely not going to happen. They're going to say they're going to need more training. You know, the typical excuse. Now, you guys really should go and look at my last video that I did, because I talked about this kind of stuff. Also, before I deleted my Fearless 2005 channel, I talked about and mentioned how black people, or better yet, don't be surprised if black people don't end up in captivity. They say that when you don't know your history, you're bound to repeat it. And the black history is being erased. And I just made a video yesterday on how they're erasing the black history. When they start taking down those Confederate flags, those statues, white people start calling out white supremacy and start talking about races, this person and this person is racist. That right there should tell you that something is not right with that picture. And so you had a lot of black people that jumped on the bandwagon and started referring to Trump as a white racist. But how many times does CNN talk about this story? How often did you hear the Demoncraps, the politicians, talk about this? Now they're talking about mass shootings, and they're talking about how racist and white supremacist Trump is, more than they're talking about the mass shootings or the person that actually did the shootings. But I don't hear any of the Demoncrap politicians condemning this. Why not? You would think that CNN would be right on this, being that their whole topic has been about racism and white supremacy. And now we have an image of a black man being led by a rope by two cops on horses, which takes us all the way back to captivity. But yet, because of the fact that black history is being erased, they're going to tell you that there's no proof that black Americans are connected to slavery. Although the image is right here, but because your history is being erased, you now whitewashed, or like Hillary Clinton did with those emails on the server, how she had someone come in and just get rid of everything. They just did a complete wash of everything. Even destroyed the hard drives and the cell phones. So that's what they're doing with black history. And I'm not talking about black history as far as kente cloth and Africa and Egyptology and Ra and Sut and all these other crazy names. I'm not talking about that as Black history. I'm talking about the Confederate flag and what it meant or what it stood for. I'm talking about the KKK, the lynchings, the civil rights movement, the Jim Crow era. I'm talking about where blacks couldn't even drink out of the same water fountain as whites, when you had to go through the back door and not the front, and how the only job that you were able to get was either a maid or a janitor. But yet they're telling you that racism don't exist. And they're bleaching or whitewashing your history away. So you have nothing to fight for. You have no type of evidence to reach back and say, see, here it is right here. You could just Google the information. You can't do that no more. I talked about that in my last video, and you should go back and watch it. So this image does not surprise me. History always repeats itself. It always repeats itself. If you don't learn from history, it will repeat itself. And this is only the beginning. So when you hear the Demoncraps talk about white supremacy and white racist, and Trump is a racist, and racist this and racist that and racist this, and everybody's tweeting about racists, especially white people, because a lot of them so-called white people that are speaking out against white supremacy are white racists themselves. But this is their this is their white sheets and white hoods. The KKK outfits, the Klan outfits, the robes, the hoods, they've now changed to protesters against white supremacy. So now you have white supremacists that's tweeting all day. That's all they tweet about is white racism, and Trump is a racist, and white supremacy. That's all the white racists tweet about. They don't talk about anything else. They turn any topic into white supremacy. See, when you talked about Baltimore, they didn't want you to talk about that because you're helping the slaves. They don't want you to help the slaves. So the 3 mass shootings occurred back to back, and they're not talking about the mass shootings. They're talking about gun control and white supremacy, and it's Trump's fault because he's a white racist. So now the Demoncraps, white racist, gun control, white racist, white supremacy, gun control, white supremacy, white racist. But yet they're not talking about this image right here. Where's Ocasio-Cortez? Where's Ilhan Omar? Where's that Tlaib female? Where's Elijah Cummings? Where's Nancy Pelosi? Where's Chuck Schumer? Where's all of these Demoncraps that refer to Trump as a racist and always talking about this country being divided? So nothing's going to happen to these cops. See? But see, black people remain on the Demoncrap plantation. They're still fighting the Demoncraps' war and don't realize that you are still a slave. And this image right here shows you that you are still a slave. So feedback, tell me what you think, subscribe. Till next time. I'm fearless.